When do you, I think at some point you set a depth chart and moved to scout team. When will you be at that process?
Next week.
Next Monday?
Yeah, next Monday.
Right.
So we'll be back to school, then we got 2 weeks to get ready. We've started to set a lot of our stuff, just making sure that we're practicing the right people, the people that got a chance to be in the mix. We don't want to have any wasted reps. And so just making sure that we're really diligent and as far as who are the guys that need to be getting reps.
I mean, do you feel good with where you are at this point in camp? Do you feel you're on schedule, so to speak?
I don't know. I feel okay. Not great, not bad, just okay, Wags. We got a long ways to go, a lot of things to improve on, so many different areas that we got to work on. No, I probably don't feel so great because I'm not confident right now.
Right.
And I don't know if you ever are confident, you just keep working.
Right. I've noticed, and I didn't do a real count today, but there's less guys in red than normal. Do you think that's reflective of the conditioning? Do you think that it's paying off?
There's no doubt in my mind it's a direct result of what, not only the strength staff, but the training room staff. They did a really good job in the off season, spent a lot of time in the off season talking about things. How do we work our guys out? How do we get them to recover? Just all those things. We went to Chet to try to say, hey, we need more stuff as far as nutrition and, to help us recover. And everybody's been really good about that. As far as the things that we need, our strength staff obviously done a great job. And, Coach Fitz and his staff and Coach Jim Barry has done a really good job too. It's been everybody.
Right. Friday, you're having a closed practice, so prying eyes like mine don't see anything in particular why you want to do that, just some things you want to work on?
Yeah, we want to get ready for a game, we want to get game ready. And so there's things we want to work on, and, we don't need anything coming out, just, they practice a bunch of this, and they're throwing the ball to this guy, or they're, running this type of blitz, or they're played a lot of zone, or whatever. I thought one of the things that helped us against FAU last year is we played a ton of man against them, and we'd never really been a man team. FAU is a team that won 11 games. I mean, they won a ton of games. They were a really good football team, but I think we caught them off guard a little bit. Fortunately, we'd have to play them at the end of the season.
Right.
We just want to make sure that we're getting ready, and we don't need to disclose anything to, even our opponents, even though Hawaii is a long ways away.
Right.
They have the internet too. So.
Well, I'm doing a little story on the slot backs, and obviously there's some attrition there. They took some hits for graduation, some good players. Malcolm moves over to quarterback, kind of rebuilding that position. You're being a senior, it's important for you to lead. Can you talk about, just what you feel your role is in the room?
Oh, yes, sir. So my role is pretty much just to help keep these guys and get them ready for this season. Obviously, like you said, we lost a lot, but we have a lot of guys that can come in and fill their roles and do just as well. A lot of the young guys like CJ and Miles Fells and Taj Malloy, like a bunch of those guys can come in and step up. And
TK.
Exactly, all of them. So my role is pretty much to help them get them in those situations in the game to where they feel confident in themselves, so they can go out there and play like we know they can.
Right, well, I think this is not anything new. There's always a rotation of slots, and whatever group has been there has gotten the job done. Is that something you all take pride in, that it doesn't matter, how many guys you graduate and how much experience the guys that are replacing them have, that you can't lower the standard?
Yes, sir. So we definitely take that serious, the next man up mantra. So, just next man up, like I said, and once you step into your role, obviously once it's your time to play, it's your time to play. You got to step up and do what you got to do. So.
You were starting to emerge last year and had to, right before you suffered your injury, you'd had a really good game. In fact, you did some good things that game. How frustrating was it to lose the rest of your season the way you did?
It was pretty frustrating, like you said, I was starting to come out and make some plays and do what the coaches expected me to do, and it was frustrating not being able to go out there and help my teammates. But I knew it was one of those things that it was what was meant to be. God meant for it to happen. So it's my time. It was my time for this year to come out and do what I got to do this year. So,
how's your recovery going?
Going well. I feel really well. I'm ready to get after it.
But you've been limited so far, right? You're not doing full contact, I would presume?
Yes, I'm limited, but everything, I'm cleared to go. By the doctors, I'm ready to get after it whenever I can.
Right, so when the season opener hits, we can expect to see Tre Walker out there?
Yes, sir, I'll be out there.
Right, and so in terms of this season and, being the senior leader of this group, you have high hopes?
Yes, definitely have high hopes. So a lot of plays are going to be made from the A-back groups this year, so ready for it.
And how are you working with your new coach?
Oh, he was really well. I actually like him a lot. He's new. He's very into it, very passionate about what he does, and he's good about making us do those little things right. That's going to help us. So I really like it.
He coached slot backs here before, so I think he knows what he's doing.
Yeah, definitely. And I got a lot of info from the older guys, like some of the guys that he coached, like G.G. Green from back in the day, and all of them just told me, like, yeah, he's a great guy, and I can see that. Obviously, he's working really hard with us to get us right this year.
All right, well, Coach DuPaix, why don't you talk about how the slots are progressing? I mean, we had a lot of turnover. Guys that contributed last year graduated. Malcolm got moved to quarterback, and so you're really kind of having to rebuild the depth chart, aren't you?
Yeah, we really are. You know, we have a bunch of guys that are really eager to get better, and that's the coolest thing that I love about this group is they want to get better every day. They're hungry to get better every day. I don't need to come in with a motivational piece to get them going. They just want to, like, literally get better every day, which is huge. Now, as far as the experience, one great thing about our slot back position, A's make plays has been the motto for a gazillion years, and they learn the system at a young age, and even though there's some young guys stepping up, you know, they've seen this before. It's not like they just came to Navy and now we're going. It's they know what they're going to do. They know what they have to do. They know what the standard is. The standard is high, and you know, now it just becomes the techniques of fundamentally, you know, our stock blocks, our cut blocks, our arc blocks, etc. And you know, seeing the ball in with our hands and eyes and catching the ball and locking it up and all those fundamentals. But they're really progressing well. I'm really pleased with the whole group.
So obviously your two starters have been limited so far. Tre Walker, I just spoke with, and Keone, we just call him 2K.
2K.
How have you been able to get a look at them, and do you feel comfortable that come Hawaii, those two guys who you are counting on will be ready to go?
Yeah, absolutely. They're working really hard. And you know, as we know, it's a little bit more like a hockey substitution where we're going to play, you know, 4 to 6 guys anyway, roll them in, keep them fresh. But those guys are working extremely hard in the rehab to get 100% healthy, and they don't want anything more than to be 100% healthy and be, you know, playing and making plays against Hawaii. And so I'm really pleased with the work they're doing with Coach Miller and the rest of our strength staff, along with our training staff. Everyone's just very connected and working really hard with those guys to bring them back up to speed. And so I expect to see them there. They're playing really well, and we'll just keep progressing them as we go. And the rest of the young bucks, they'll continue learning as well.
Tre Walker was really starting to emerge last year before he got injured. If you went back and looked at the film, in fact, the game he got injured in, he had made 2 big plays. What do you see out of Tre? What do you think he can do? What does he bring to the table?
You know, first of all, he brings great leadership. You know, he's a senior. He brings tremendous leadership to the room. Helps the young guys learn and grow, you know, if they're doing something that's not quite right. So from that standpoint, just to step up and be that vocal leader. And then as far as athletically, you know, as his knee continues to progress, I expect him to run like he ran. That's what he expects as well. Now, time will tell, you know, if he'll actually run that way, but we're expecting him to, and excited to see him in full action to go out there and run.
Obviously, Keone was a very pleasant surprise last year as a freshman. You know, very quick, explosive guy, can get on the edge. What do you see out of 2K from what you've seen on film? 2K
has a great look in his eye right now. Had some great plays last season. The way he's working right now to get back on the field and really contribute is really impressive. And it starts with attitude. He has a really good attitude right now, and he's working hard. So I expect him to get back out there and not miss a step, from speed to quickness to knowing his assignments to executing the details of those assignments. Everything's arrows up with 2K.
So with them being not full go just yet, who has been running with the ones? Is it Miles, Fells, and C.J. Williams?
It's a handful.
It's King L, Tyreek King L right there?
It's Taj, it's C.J. I mean, it really is. It's kind of a combination of guys right there. Mason Plant's doing some good things. Justin Smith's doing some really good things. Travis, I mean, that whole group, you know, Garrett, they all bring different talents to the table, and where they need to learn and grow is just experience. And so, you know, it's kind of a revolving door a little bit to really see who's going to be that guy. But right now, they're all pushing each other, which is the best way to have a room where they're really competing, they're really driving to get better each and every day, and they know that if I don't do my job, that guy's going to pass me.
Right.
And that's where it is right now. So I'm really encouraged with all of them. Taj is probably the most vocal leader after Tre, as far as just stepping up and leading the group. But overall, all of them are doing a phenomenal job.
So just a quick hitter for each guy in that kind of tier, because C.J. Williams, Coach Jasper said the other day that he is a very good pass catcher. That's a good strength of his. Mason Plant, I've noticed, is a great blocker. He's built solidly. We just got a quick one-liner about each of the secondary guys. C.J. Williams.
C.J. Williams, extremely quick feet, great with the hands, great with the eyes, explosive player.
Tyreek King-El.
Tyreek, very similar, very explosive, and kind of fun to watch. You know, he'll make you miss in a phone booth if you're playing tag.
Mason Plant.
Mason Plant, physical player. Has some quickness, but he's more the durable, get in there and get after it type guy.
Taj Malloy.
Taj, kind of all around. He can do a little bit of all of it. You know, he's got incredible vert, very explosive player, has really good hands, good mind, good feet. He can kind of do everything.
Miles Fells.
Miles, he's, again, a little bit like Taj. He can do a little bit of everything, has no fear to throw his body in there and block, and has quickness, great hands, again, similar to the other guys.
So I've had this exact conversation with Coach O'Rourke in the past, and when you were here before. These guys got to play special teams if they want to get on the bus.
Absolutely.
I don't know how many you're going to take to Hawaii, 6, 7. It all depends on what they contribute. But can you talk about the need for a slot back to be a special teams ace?
You know, our guys need to be able to contribute definitely in special teams. And whether it be kickoff return, punt return, they need to be involved in that stuff to get on the bus. And, you know, if we're going to take 6, 7 guys, those top couple guys might not play as many special teams. The rest of them need to have a heavy hand in special teams and be very involved. And again, that's what I love about our guys. They don't care who gets the credit. They just want to contribute. They want to be on the bus. They want to play. They want to contribute, whether it be, you know, blocking, getting the ball, special teams, whatever it is. And it's one of the beautiful things about Navy and the way that we operate here is just the unselfish attitude of team play.